My name's Deb and I've been riding for over 50 years. Well, I had a minibike as a kid, which then progressed to postie bike, and living on the edge of town, you know, there was a park across the road, vacant block next door sort of thing down near the river. So we would just, you know, after school, weekends, just do hundreds of miles around and around the backyard and around the park. Mid-80s, I wanted to get back into it. So a friend of mine at that point was riding an XS 1100, and he sort of said to me, look, if you want to ride a road bike, it's what you've got to learn on. So I initially, because back in those days there was no restrictions on what bike you could ride on an L plate, and because I had my black car licence, so I could ride anything. So I had initially my L plates on an XS 1100. I know, this big monster of a bike. I had this fella on behind me one day and pulled up at an intersection, and the road was slanted down. So I pulled up at this intersection, couldn't put my foot down. And I'm thinking, okay, he's got this, but no, he's, you know, staring around in the sky. So I've jumped because the bike's going, and he sort of went down with the bike. And the next day I went out and bought a CB 250 Honda to do my L plates on. So I went from that to a 750 Kawasaki. It had its issues. Go for a ride, you get it up to about 130 Ks and you just start weaving down the road. Oh yeah, oh yeah. And being a lady rider, you know, you'd tell them, because I was always behind the fellas, I'd say, look, the bike does this, and yeah, you know? And then going to a rally out at Mudgee one day, there was someone, another friend, but an older person, and he was riding behind us. And so the bike starts weaving on me. We get out to the rally at Mudgee, and he sort of says, like, why is she riding that bike? It's really dangerous. Luckily, the next weekend, in the paper, like, I'd always liked the old BMWs, classic old bike, and this one was listed at a garage sale. Whoa, 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 whoa. So 1973 R60 stroke 5. I bought it in around about 86 or 87. So I rode the bike until late 1990. It was my main form of transport, like I would have the bike on the road rather than car. And I stopped riding because I was pregnant with my first child. So then the bike got parked in my garage for 30 years. A year and a half or so ago, local mechanic here, Nathan Taylor, his father has a similar bike, and he would have been, Nathan came and looked at the bike and his father made me an offer. And I said, no, I'm sorry, I can't sell it. And then at that point I thought, like, I've either got to sell this bike or get it back on the road. So I put it back on the road with the mechanic for a year. Just, you know, like Nathan was working on it slowly between other jobs. You know, it had a few issues here and there. I replaced, you know, the mufflers and different things. You know, the mufflers were a bit rusty, so I thought, well, I'll put new mufflers on. And yeah, it just went from being an easy, quick little, you know, we'll change the oil and check the spark plugs, to top end rebuild, yeah, which Nathan organised all of that. Having the tacho and the speedo all reconditioned, and yeah, became a little bit of a project. But in that time, I learnt a lot about the bike, did a lot of the parts ordering myself, so, which, you know, what for me, like, it was a really good experience, like sourcing parts on the internet of a night, sitting on the lounge, you know, trying to find out, Nathan said it needs this, but I know it needs that as well, you know, like new gaiters and stuff like that. So I did a lot of sourcing on the internet and ordered a lot of parts and spent a bit of money, but it's one of the best things I've ever done. I just love riding the bike. She just goes really well. Just got an emotional connection to it, you know, like had it for a long time, and Once I bought this bike, like, of course I'd gone from riding a lot of, like larger Japanese bikes, and because I had so many issues with the 750, with the handling of it, I got on this bike and it was just like having training wheels with the low centre of gravity. It just handles perfectly. And it's only 600, but she hunts along. She keeps up with the big bikes. Like, I think, some people are surprised that it goes so well, but and the handling is just superb, and she starts every time. I've come into a club where I didn't really know anyone, just showed up one day, and the only woman that was there, I'm the only regular, the only woman that rides with them basically at the moment, and they treat me like they treat anyone else. I'm just another rider on the ride. And no, they're a wonderful group of people that I'm riding with. We went recently, we've done a couple of longer rides recently, and there was one that we went from O'Connell, Mayfield and across to Black Springs, and then into O'Connell, out to Trunkie, Newbridge, back into town. And some of the roads out past Mayfield on the way to Black Springs are just beautiful. So we did that on Boxing Day, which was probably a really good time because I think they do logging out there, so often there's possibly a lot more traffic on the roads out there. And a couple of weeks ago we went to Ralston, which was a really good ride. My aim at the moment is, like, I do the afternoon and morning rides with the club, and this year I'm going to start doing their overnighters, like just do that little bit longer ride. So yeah, I suppose that's my aim for now, is just slowly getting into a little bit longer ride. One day I might end up doing their 3-day rides. There's fabulous roads. The roads out here, the countryside, there's plenty of little villages. There's some lovely rides around Bathurst. And I find it's my happy place. Being out in the open road, being able to open the bike up a bit, get into a few corners. It's just, there's that feeling of freedom, bit of power under you. It's my happy place. This was actually the day before I went and bought the little 250. So the person that I was with at the time, he had borrowed a GSX 750, the old blue and white ones. I was riding that, he was on the back, on my L plates. And it was Friday afternoon, I was coming out onto the highway, and this bike had a bit of a dodgy throttle. Every time there'd be a break in the traffic, I would stall this bike. The person I was with says, look, next time there's a break in the traffic, just drop the clutch and give it heaps. So there's a break in the Friday afternoon traffic on the highway. Yes, I drop the clutch, I give it heaps, I go onto the highway on one wheel, and I backed off and it went down. And then I thought, gosh, it's going to stall, so I hit it again and it went back up. And then I thought, shit, and it went back down. I didn't stop that bike until we got to Brawongal, because I was being yelled at.
Not you, not her, not him or them gonna stop me from getting mine now. Not you, not her, not him or them